Spyderco, one of the most famous knife brands in the industry. You've probably heard of the brand or at least recognize the round hole in the blade. Throughout the years, Spyderco has made many different kinds of models. Because of this, it can be very hard to choose the right Spyderco knife for you. Well, in this Spyderco's buying guide, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Spyderco. Hi, my name is Sjoerd and in this Spyderco buying guide we are focusing on the following collections. The Paramilitary 2, the Para 3, the Tenacious, the Native 5, the Delica 4, the Endura 4, the Dragonfly 2, and for the collections we've got the Salt series, the Lightweight series, Byrd knives, and last but not least, Spyderco kitchen knives. Let's start off with Spyderco's most famous knife, the Paramilitary 2. The Paramilitary 2 is very popular because it's very versatile and can be used for many different types of tasks. The Paramilitary 2 is a larger knife, making it great for heavy duty tasks for which you cannot use a small knife. Because of this size, the Paramilitary 2 is also great for tactical purposes for first responders. The Paramilitary 2 uses Spyderco's famous compression lock mechanism, which basically works like a liner lock but then in the back of the handle. The compression lock mechanism is designed by the founder of Spyderco, Sal Glesser himself. Next up is the Para 3. The Para 3 is a smaller version of the Paramilitary 2. Apart from its size, they are almost identical. The Para 3 is loved by people who prefer a smaller blade for everyday carry tasks like cutting card boxes or doing some food prep. The Para 3 has the same features as the Paramilitary 2. It features a finger groove, a thumb wrap and Spyderco's famous compression lock mechanism. Next is the Spyderco Tenacious, a very budget-friendly knife. For a lot of collectors it was the very first knife ever because of its lower price. However, you still get a lot of value for your money. The knife features decent materials like HCR13 MOV and a G10 handle. If you're shopping on a budget or if you want a knife that you can really abuse, go with a Tenacious. Next up is a real Spyderco classic. This is the Native 5. The Native 5 is very slim. Unlike most Spyderco knives, the Native 5 doesn't have a thumb ramp. Since the arrival of the Little Native and the Native Chief, this collection became a lot more varied. The Native collection is the right choice if you're looking for a very slim knife. The following knife is the Delica 4, one of the most famous EDC knives ever made. The design of the Delica 4 is very slim and very compact. You almost won't notice that you're carrying it. The Delica 4 features a very solid backlock locking mechanism. The Delica 4 collection sits right in the middle of the Spyderco range, in terms of size, price, materials, but also functionality. The Delica 4 is loved by both experienced knife collectors but also starting knife collectors. This is the Endura 4. The Endura 4 is a larger version of the previously shown Delica 4. Because of the thicker blade and the larger handle, the Endura 4 is better suited for people with large hands or people who want to use a knife for heavy duty cutting tasks. But overall, both knives are pretty much the same. The last model that we're going to discuss is the small Dragonfly 2. Even though it's a small knife, you have a lot of grip on the handle. The Dragonfly 2 features like a lot of Spyderco models, a finger groove and a thumb ramp, so you can hold the knife securely in your hand. The Dragonfly 2 is a very lightweight blade, making it very popular with users who don't want to leave the house with a lot of heavy gear. Choose the Dragonfly 2 if you are searching for a small, compact and lightweight knife. Next up is not one specific model but a collection of knives. This is the Spyderco Salt series. The knives within the Spyderco Salt collection are made to be used in wet conditions like at sea or when fishing. These knives are enhanced with blade steels that literally cannot rust. Also, a lot of the parts have a black coating to prevent them from rusting, just like the blade. You can leave these knives in a bottle of salt water overnight and there won't be a trace of rust on the blade. You can recognize these knives by the bright yellow or green handle, so you can easily spot them whenever you lose them in the water. Next is the Spyderco Lightweight collection. These knives are, like the name suggests, very lightweight. This is achieved by the use of FRN skills, fiber reinforced nylon. Also, a lot of these knives don't have steel liners in the handle or very minimal steel liners, making them even lighter. A lot of popular models like the Para here and the Tenacious have a version that is featured within this lightweight collection, so there is some overlap in this buying guide. For instance, this is the Para in G10 and this is the Tenacious in G10. These two are the originals and these two are part of the lightweight collection. At first glance you probably don't see a difference between those two, but this one weighs 30 grams more than the lightweight version. So if you think the weight of your knife is very important, choose a knife from the lightweight collection. The following knives are part of Spyderco's budget brand. These are Byrd knives. You can recognize these knives by the comet-shaped thumb hole in the blade. Apart from the comet-shaped thumb hole, there are a lot of similarities with Spyderco knives. As you can see here, the handle and the locking mechanism look alike. Because of the use of cheaper materials, Byrd knives are much more affordable than Spyderco knives, but not any less functional. Spyderco also makes great kitchen knives. These knives are very thin and razor sharp. The handles are made out of a lot of different beautiful materials. And fun fact, these knives are surprisingly innovative. This for instance is the Spyderco counter puppy, which you can place on the counter like this. This way you don't accidentally cut yourself while you're working in the kitchen. These knives are perfect for the Spyderco lover who also likes to cook. Well, that's it. These are the most popular Spyderco knives that we've got. But there are a lot more like the Manix 2 or most Spyderco fixed blades, which we haven't featured in this video. Make sure to check the link in the description for the entire buying guide, and I hope we'll see you in the next video.